Hello everybody and welcome to Roaming Recess, the weekly show where I talk to you about the goings on in the world of video games and the going on in your world, in the goings on of my world and the goings on of the channel. I have my hood up today because yesterday I decided to make the fashion statement of wearing a hat for the first time in a long time, and I forgot how much of an idiot it makes me look like when I take off the hat. And I just got out of bed this morning and decided that I was going to make this. So instead of looking like even more of an idiot, I decided to look like a Eminem wannabe, and I feel like that's the best course of action, to be honest. I'd rather look like a wannabe rapper than a person having a bad hair day. But anyway, we're going to be talking about stuff and more stuff today. The first thing I want to talk about today, and actually the only piece of news I want to talk about today, is actually this week there was a bit of a hoopla about game development as an art form versus game development as a job. And now this is something that actually gets to me a lot when I hear about people saying that it's an art form. They shouldn't complain about what they're doing in their job. They shouldn't complain about their beautiful cushy job. When it comes to punching in the actual numbers into a computer that actually, creates a video game, I actually cannot even nearly think about how much hard work goes into creating a video game. That's when a video game gets delayed, I don't get very upset. I really don't. But recently a video game developer came out and actually said that a lot of the people who are complaining about the work hours that video game developers have, which are long, which are very, very hard to work through, a lot of the game developers that complain about this are wage slaves and they're victimizing themselves. Which, I don't know, if you haven't seen your family in a few months properly, if you've only seen them at night, your children are asleep when you come home, you yourself, are tired when you come home, you're probably angry, you probably don't want to talk to anybody, and then you go into work the next morning, you have to do it all again. I'd be pretty upset too. And it's basically the sake of getting a video game out in time for quarterly reviews for the company. No one ever really cares about the artistic integrity, so I don't know why we're talking about the artistic integrity of a game. The people who actually care about the artistic integrity are the actual people who are coding in the actual, numbers into the computer that actually make up the video game. Because pretty much if you have any type of company in the world, there's only a few that actually understand that the game needs time to breathe. I think you got Rockstar, you got From Software, and Bandai Namco. You got did I say Rockstar? Rocksteady as well. There's another one. But it's kind of funny that saying the difference between a job and an art form, because I don't think they're exclusive. I don't think you can have one without the other. You can have one without the other. Some people might consider baking not an art form, but maybe it is. Some people may consider building, even cleaning, an art form. But you gotta really just consider that yourself. I'm not gonna put words in anyone's mouth, or because I don't have those jobs myself. But if you look at some of the biggest people in all industries, if you look at someone like, say, Leonardo DiCaprio, who actually works in a lot of movies, actually works his ass off to make sure that he's getting work and doing a good job in those movies. I'm pretty sure if you said to him, alright, Leonardo, you're going to be doing this whole entire movie, and don't worry, it's an art form. You should be, you should be happy that you're working as an actor. You will not be getting paid for this movie, and you will be working these hours. I'm pretty sure you get pretty goddamn pissed off if your pay is not good enough for the work that you're doing. I think it's a very righteous thing to get pissed off about. I mean, if you look at it, you had PewDiePie coming out recently saying that he loves what he does on YouTube, but if it came down to it that he wasn't getting paid, he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it for anything less, not anything less than the money he's making, but if he wasn't getting paid for what he was doing in a fair amount, he wouldn't be doing what he's doing. You have to be paid for a fair amount of what you were doing and how many hours you were working or how much hard work you were putting in. And that's where I have to defend game developers here, because sometimes they work harder than they're even, paid to work. Which is, not rare, I guess. It's not rare at all. You hear stories of this constantly. Saying that they have a wage slave attitude and they're victimizing themselves, I don't think that's very right. I think game developers do deserve a bit more respect and a few more rights. I think game developers deserve our respect, and they deserve a fair wage and fair working hours, that they're not actually going to end up hating the game towards the end, because some game developers don't even want to play the game after they finish the game, and that's because of the over the top work they have to put in on this game that makes them just sick of looking at that particular video game. And I know a lot of people out there are going to be like, well, I'd love to have their job. It's like, well, yeah, that's great, but that doesn't change the fact of the experience that they're having right now. You having their job isn't going to change the fact that when they go home, maybe their daughter or their son's already asleep, maybe their wife is already asleep, maybe they're really angry at their wife, maybe, and I know a lot of people will say, well, maybe they shouldn't just get angry, but the working world is kind of tough. It's kind of tough in that way. I just think that game developers deserve a little bit more respect, and maybe this is why we're getting games like when Batman came out on PC, or maybe when Assassin's Creed released, Unity released, and we had those glitches in it, and Drive Club as well. Maybe it's because the hours are so terrible. They give this date that the game is going to be done by, and if it's not done by then, we're all very sad it's delayed, and rightfully so we're sad it's delayed, because we were giving a date for the game to be released. But maybe we should just stop giving dates for the game's release. Maybe we should do Todd Howard on it and just basically announce the game, give a date, but make sure that the game is finished by the time that you give the date. Otherwise, nothing is going to really get done, and your employees are going to probably end up hating you and hating the game that they're working on as well. Don't get me wrong, there are some game developers out there that are still in love with the video game industry. I'm not here saying that every video game developer is going to rise up against their oppressors, because there are video game companies that care about their video game developers and actually help the video game developers and give them proper hours and pay them for overtime, and that's actually awesome. The person who's actually saying this was actually a big person in the video game industry. His name is Alex St. John, and he had a lot of opinions on this, and I don't discount his opinions, because he's been in the game industry way longer than I have, and I'm not even in the game way longer than I have. Me playing video games all the time. He's been in the video game industry way longer than a lot of people that I know, is what I meant to say, and I shouldn't discount his opinion completely, and I'm not. I totally understand where he's coming from. He believes that the video game creation is an art form, which it is. And but at the same time, I think we should respect this art form, and it's different from other art forms. It's not just someone painting in the street and hoping to sell his artwork to someone. It's not just someone getting commissioned to paint one painting, or to do certain different types of art forms, or so, you know what I mean. This is someone coming in the morning early, sitting down in a chair, typing in code into a computer for an entire day, and then for long hours, and not getting paid for overtime, going home, and then having to do it all over again the next day. And I'm pretty sure, I've never been in someone's shoes like that, I'm pretty sure it gets kind of grueling, and eventually, it's probably going to make someone crack. My question to you guys, I guess, about this is a year worth it? Is an extra year of waiting for video games to be developed worth it? Like, if you knew that the video game that you love, say I love Dark Souls 3, and say if there was an agreement with the fans to make the game come out a year later than it actually would, maybe Dark Souls 3 comes out 2017, but say From Software's developers get really good working hours and really fair working hours. I'm not saying that From Software doesn't pay their workers, because they know what it takes for a game to be developed, and they actually make sure that the game is right when they release it. They don't just rush the game. So I'm not saying that, I'm just giving an example of a game. Do you guys think that's fair? I think that's fair. I think that's really fair to wait another year for a video game that you really love, just so we can get just so we can get a proper video game title, and just so people can actually have proper working hours, which is a very serious thing. It's a big topic here in Ireland as well, working hours for pay. A lot of protests going on, a lot of things going on like that, and I feel like that's the only way I can have any experience in talking about this, but this is just an opinion piece. It's not anything concrete. You guys can have a completely different opinion. Alex St. John said, "Making games is not a job, it's an art. There's no amount of money that anyone can pay people with a wage slave attitude." He has a point in some respects, that he's saying that people who have wage slave attitudes, and there are people out there. There's an example of a group of people who are protesting here in Ireland that get paid more than doctors, and they do way less work, but they believe that they deserve more pay. And I'm not saying that they don't, I'm not saying that they do, I'm just saying they have this attitude that no amount of money is going to be, sustain them, which, is kind of silly to say in a way, but I guess I can see where he's coming from at that point. But I still believe that an art form can still be seen as a job, a full-time job, and that's the world we live in nowadays. Art forms are jobs now, and they're way more accessible as jobs than they used to be. Why should any of us really care about this? Well, the reason why everyone should really care about this is because it's the video games that we play, and we pay, I pay €74 for most of my games, and I want them to be good, and I also want them to be made by a development team that actually loves the video game as well. And if that means waiting another year for them to come out, or waiting, half a year for them to come out so they can have proper working hours and reasonable working hours, then I'm totally 100% on board with that. I just think art and a job, the art world and the world of jobs and occupations have come together, and we have a lot more people who are working while honing an art. Okay, so let's talk about the channel really quick. We finished Dark Souls 3. Well, today we should be finishing Dark Souls 3, probably this day that it comes out, if not tomorrow. And we also started Corpse Party. We actually did very well. I think I got 150 views on the first video, and gained a couple of people from that as well. I will be playing that full game. It's really fun. Like, it's a lot of fun. Very interesting. The music's great. The story's interesting. It's just absolutely fantastic. The games that I've been playing in my personal life, however, I've been playing a game called Tales of Hearts Or on the PS Vita. I've also been playing some more Dark Souls 3. I've also bought Life is Strange, and I'm going through that as well. Well, attempting to. I've gotten to the first half hour, and I've gone back to playing Tales of Hearts, and I'm playing, Dark Souls 3 a lot as well. But those are the video games I'm playing this week. I absolutely love Tales of Hearts. It's about a story about a young boy who actually has this soma, which, if you ever played the Tales games, somas are really big in those. And he basically tried to heal a girl, but in the attempt of healing this girl, she actually became a little bit darker and a little bit, brainless and mindless, and that's because he actually spread her crystals or whatever. This isn't Crash Bandicoot, but she spread her crystals all over the world, and now we have to find them in different people and extract those crystals so we can get her emotions back. That's the current story, but obviously it's probably going to go into something else. It's a great story. It's like Final Fantasy, but it doesn't have the turn-based combat. It has very good combat. You use the D-pad for the combat, which some people might find stupid, but it's easier for jumping, it's easier for sliding under, it's easier for attacking enemies. And then of course you have Life is Strange. When I played the first half hour of this game, I really like Alex as a character. That's her name, isn't it? Alex? I really like Alex as a character. I think she's much more believable than most other Telltale characters, but I'm not going to insult Telltale characters at all, but she's way more, I know it's not Telltale, by the way, I know it's Square Enix, but she's way more believable than any other character that I've seen in all those other games. What has Calvin been watching this week? Well, I've been watching the premiere of Silicon Valley. Yes, the premiere, it's back. It's actually so freaking good to be able to watch Silicon Valley. I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody. I'm not going to even talk about what's going on in the story, because it actually is a story. It's a comedy show, but it actually has a lot of story elements to it as well. Mike Judge, the creator and director of that show, he's very, very talented. I'm not going to ruin anything for anybody, but just go check it out. Check out the full 2 seasons. Altogether there's about 11 episodes, including season 6, episode 1. I really do recommend watching it. And then of course I was watching the Game of Thrones premiere, which again no spoilers, but holy crap, it was really good. I liked it. I think it's a really good season opener, but I'm not going to go much more into it. I'm not going to talk about anything to do with it, because I feel like every single second in a premiere of a TV show is a spoiler, and so I'm not going to ruin anything for anybody. On the side on YouTube, I've actually been watching Epic Name Still play Dark Souls 3. I've been watching a German spy play Dark Souls 3. I've been watching Elajaz play Dark Souls 3. And I've been watching Game Grunts play Dark Souls 3 still. And I've also been re-watching Let's Play Dark Souls HD play Dark Souls 1. I really do like watching people play Dark Souls 1, especially when they're way more experienced and way better at the game than I am. But it's just really cool to see that type of stuff, and I give them a lot of credit for the really, really talented voiceover that they do, and the really talented gameplay that they have also. Let's talk about personal stuff. I recently came back to college. I'm back in college, basically preparing for exams, and I got the coolest present in the history of the world. That's right. Let's try and set this up in a way that I don't actually, no cuts. I'm just gonna do a Finn Balor type reveal here. Okay, you can already see, you already see something to do with here. Okay, let's go. Okay, I'm gonna put the microphone down now. That's right, I got an Oscar of Astoria t-shirt off my friend Tom. My friend Tom is pretty cool. He kind of wanted me to talk about, or at least add his name to this video, because I added my friend Adam, my friend Liz, and my friend Richie's names to the other video. I didn't know how to organically do it until I realized I have a Dark Souls t-shirt now, and I should probably talk about how cool it is. And I really wanted, I thanked him in college when I actually went in, but this is like a really cool present, and I honestly can't thank him enough for it as well. And another thing I should probably say as well is that I really love my friends. And it's such a rare thing for people, I think nowadays, for people to actually say, but I feel like I'm at the point with my friends where I don't have any malicious intent towards anyone. I don't feel like, oh, I really like this person, but this person's kind of annoying. The group that I hang out with, whether it be my friend Tom, my friend Richie, my friend Liz, my friend Adam, or my friend even my friend Paul, look at that name, Paul. I think they're all very cool, and the reason why I'm leaving out one name is because there's a person who has been extremely nice to me for 2 straight years now, and her name's Ash Mahal. I hope she doesn't get like fucking swatted or something for me saying her name, but she's a holy crap, I've been recording 25 minutes. Yeah. Well, yeah. So they're all very nice to me though. I'm one of those few people that can actually say I'm in a very good place in my life, and I hope everyone watching this video is also in a very good place in my life. Please tell me, have you had to go back to something after so long and you wonder if people are actually going to even remember you, and they do, and it's one of the most exciting things ever. Maybe they didn't remember you, and we can actually talk about it in the comment section. And also, again, about the video game development side of things. I know I rambled for a bit, but what do you guys think about that stuff? My name is Calvin, this has been Roaming Recess. Thank you for watching this. It's early in the morning. Yeah. Love you guys.